I've done shitty things. I don't have time to go into all of them. I broke my mother's back when I was in junior high. Oh, and Fred, you did not have bestial love with your dog. You just petted it a lot. I blew a dog one time. That's not the worst thing I ever did. And most of you have already heard that story, so I won't bore you with the Norm sucked a dog's dick story tonight. But I was a pretty horny kid. I don't know if I was hornier than most. We didn't really talk about it. Me and my friends, we didn't get together and talk about how horny we were with each other. You know, we just ignored the whole thing and just we'd go off on our own and do horny things. I'm assuming, I like to think I wasn't alone. Don't want to think I was the only kid in the block that blew a dog. But I was a really horny kid. So when I got to high school and sex actually became not a reality for me, but a possibility, I was anxious to get out there and explore. There was the girl that lived next door to the house that I would mow their lawn on a weekly basis, who probably was retarded, that I made out with. That kind of thing. There was this desperation in me as a young high school kid to just get my hands on some titties, you know, or something, you know, get some stink on my finger, you know. And it was about this time, I went to the Southern Baptist Church. It was North Irving Baptist Church, it's still there. And they had started a deaf ministry in our church, so we had this big influx of deaf people. And then all the kids in the youth group were taking sign language classes so we could communicate with them. And it was the cool thing to do if you were in a youth group was to sit on the deaf side of the church. And we segregated them not because we were, you know, cold and heartless, but that's where the lady that made the hand motions stood. So we'd sit over there, and there was this chick that just was really into me for some reason. She was really huge tits. She had like the biggest tits I'd ever seen at that time on a teenage girl. And just a complete butterface. I mean, she had nothing going on up here. She was butt ugly, but she had these big tits. And she dug me, and so we would sit together every day, and she would sit there and she would write me notes, because that was how, even if church hadn't been going on, that's how. Write notes. And, you know, whatever, we'd sit there and flirt or whatever. So one day we decided to skip out of church, and we went over into where the building where the Sunday school was, where they had like the classrooms, and so we go up in this room, and I just, you know, the sole intention of making out with this chick. And so we get up there and we start making out, and we make out for a little while. I just get my courage up and I get my hand on one of those tits, like outside of the shirt. She doesn't flinch. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So like I unbutton it a little bit, and then I like reach in, and I'm like over the bra, feeling up her titty, you know, like, oh, this is the finest I've ever been. So then I thought I had to go for gold, so I did the whole, like, you know, pull it down, pull the cup down, release the breast kind of. But I was like, oh, this is great, this is great. So now I actually had my hand on this, like, biggest tit ever. And it was really amazing. So then I did the really bold move. I squinched her shirt over so the hole that I made from having her shirt unbuttoned was over the tit, and it popped out, and I went, huh. I just like latched onto it, just my mouth, I was like, ah. And at this point, I guess she started to get freaked out because she grabbed me by my ears. She like squished my head, she like pushed it away. She goes, no, no. I stopped right there. I mean, no, you know. No. But here's the thing, man. I felt so bad about it. I felt so creepy about it. I also didn't want anyone to know, because she was butt ugly. Like, I didn't want anyone to know. So I didn't know how to react. I just avoided her after that. I just completely avoided her. She gave me my first hit ever, and I just blew her off after that. And so it's like a few weeks later, like she just comes up to me at church. She's like, no, why haven't you called me? I'm like, I don't know, I don't type, for starters. It's not the worst thing I ever did, but it's up there. Am I done? I'm done, I guess. I'm done. Thanks.